Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the best advice you'll ever hear about self-improvement, personal growth, and living your best life. If you're someone who loves digging deep into motivational ideas, reflecting on life lessons, and becoming the best version of yourself, then stick around. There's a lot to unpack here, and I promise you'll walk away feeling more inspired and focused. And don't forget to subscribe, turn on those notifications, smash that like button, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's make this a conversation. People know your worth, they just hope you don't realize it. Think about it. So often, we undervalue ourselves because of what others project onto us. But you have to understand that other people recognizing your value but keeping it to themselves says more about them than it does about you. Don't let that hold you back. And here's a big one: don't base your decisions on the advice of those who don't have to deal with the consequences. Think about who you're listening to. Are they invested in the results? Sometimes, people are quick to give advice without ever needing to face what happens next. Be cautious with that. Sometimes, good things fall apart so better things can fall together. I know it sounds like a cliché, but it's true. Life throws curveballs, and sometimes those are exactly what we need to steer us towards something better, something we couldn't have even imagined while we were busy clinging to what was comfortable. Accept people as they are, but place them where they belong. Some people deserve your love, others deserve your distance. For better or worse, the way things are now isn't how they'll always be. It's an ongoing process, and it's your choice to set boundaries where they're needed. Never confuse people who are always around you with people who are always there for you. Proximity doesn't equal loyalty. Some people stick around because it's convenient, not because they genuinely care. Pay attention to who claps when you succeed and who disappears when you stumble. You can't reach for what's in front of you until you let go of what's behind you. Letting go is easier said than done, I get it. But ask yourself, are you holding on to something that's holding you back? Letting go can make all the difference when you're trying to move forward. It's your road, and yours alone. Others may walk it with you, but no one can walk it for you. This journey is yours. Sure, people might support you, they might guide you, but at the end of the day, only you can put one foot in front of the other. Don't wait for someone else to lead you. Don't try to save someone who isn't actively trying to save themselves. It's a tough pill to swallow, but some people just aren't ready to be helped. Sometimes, they're not looking for a way out, they just want company in their misery. Save your energy for those who genuinely want to change. Whatever you do between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. pays the bills. What you do between 5 p.m. and midnight builds your legacy. It's a reminder that the hours we spend outside our day job are our opportunity to create something meaningful, something that's truly ours. Build that dream, work on that project, and nurture that passion. Be careful about the stories you're telling yourself about your current circumstances. A head full of negative thoughts has no space for positive ones. It's easy to fall into the trap of telling ourselves that things will never get better, that we're stuck, or that we're not capable. The first step in changing your reality is changing your narrative. The people who say you can't, who say you won't, they're usually the ones scared that you will. Don't let their fears define your actions. Proving them wrong isn't even the point, proving yourself right is. People tend to project their own insecurities, but that's not your burden to carry. People ask what you do for a living so they can calculate the level of respect they give you. And isn't that sad? We live in a world where your value seems tied to your career title. But remember, your worth isn't defined by what you do, it's defined by who you are. Your life right now is a result of the choices you made this past year. Your life a year from now will be the result of the choices you start making today. It's all about taking ownership. Stop and reflect on what's working, what isn't, and make those changes, even if they're uncomfortable. Choosing comfort over discomfort doesn't lead to a comfortable life. Ironic, right? Sometimes the things that scare us, the choices that feel risky, those are the ones that lead us to where we truly want to go. Staying in the comfort zone might feel safe, but growth happens on the edge of discomfort. Stay close to people who want more for you, not more from you. It's a small shift in words, but a huge shift in meaning. You need people in your corner who want to see you thrive for your own benefit, not for theirs. When you find those people, keep them close, they're rare. Sometimes, the hardest things in life are the things we need to hear the most. Experience is the hardest kind of teacher, it gives you the test first, and the lesson afterward. Isn't that the truth? We rarely get the answers ahead of time, and sometimes we wish we did. But it's those tough experiences that give us the wisdom we carry forward. There comes a time in your life when you have to choose to turn the page, write another book, or simply close it. Whether it's a relationship, a career, or even just an old mindset, not everything is meant to be carried on forever. Sometimes the best way to move forward is to let go of the chapter that's holding you back. Solving a problem without solving its root cause is like taking a step forward, then one back. We often patch things on the surface without addressing what's really going on underneath. If you find yourself dealing with the same problems over and over, it's probably time to dig deeper and find the root cause. How you treat your body before you are 45 is how your body will treat you after you are 45. Think about that. It's easy to ignore our health when we're young, but those habits catch up to us. Invest in yourself now, and your future self will thank you. The wrong people always teach you the right life lessons. It's true. Sometimes the people who hurt us the most, disappoint us, or let us down end up being our greatest teachers. They show us exactly what we don't want and help us learn what we truly deserve. They always say time changes things, but you actually have to change them yourself. Time alone isn't going to fix anything. It's what you do with that time that makes the difference. Don't wait for life to magically get better, take action, even if it's just one small step today. Once you realize the power of your presence, you won't be just anywhere. You'll be selective. You'll understand that your energy is valuable and that you don't have to be in places or situations that don't serve you. You'll stop saying yes just to please others and start saying yes to yourself. You will never hear someone who's doing better than you speak negatively about you. People who are truly succeeding are too busy focusing on their own journey. The negativity often comes from those who aren't where they want to be. Remember that, and don't let their words hold you back. Alright, let's keep this journey going. You know, if you don't separate yourself from your distractions will separate you from your goals and the life you want. It's true, and we're all guilty of it. Whether it's scrolling on our phones, binge-watching TV, or just getting lost in mindless activities, we need to be intentional about where we put our focus. Ask yourself, is what you're doing helping you move forward, or is it just a way to procrastinate? If you can find paths without obstacles, it probably leads nowhere. Challenges are a part of growth. A smooth path might seem appealing, but it's the ones filled with obstacles that lead to real progress. Those challenges force you to adapt, to learn, and to grow in ways you never could if everything was just handed to you. One of the fastest ways to improve your life is to simply do what you said you were going to do. Sounds simple, right? But think about how often we make promises to ourselves that we break. Whether it's waking up earlier, hitting the gym, or working on that project, the more we break these promises, the more we undermine our own confidence. Start small, build trust in yourself, and see how things change. There's only one thing more painful than learning from experience, and that is not learning from experience. Life is going to teach you lessons, whether you like it or not. It's up to you whether you take those lessons to heart or ignore them and keep making the same mistakes over and over. Reflection is key. When something doesn't go the way you planned, take the time to understand why. You don't get what you wish for, you get what you work for. It's easy to sit around dreaming of a better life, but without action, that's all it will ever be, just a dream. You have to take the steps, put in the hours, and make the sacrifices. Wishing without action is just hoping someone else does the work for you. You are always stronger and more resourceful than you give yourself credit for. Think about all the times in your life when you faced something you thought you couldn't handle, yet here you are. Life is a way of testing us, and each time we pass the test, we come out stronger. Don't underestimate yourself. You have overcome before, and you can overcome again. 2 things to remember in life: Take care of your thoughts when you're alone and take care of your words when you're with people. Your thoughts shape your reality. When you're alone, it's important to cultivate positive, empowering thoughts because they set the foundation for how you view the world. And when you're with others, your words have the power to uplift or to hurt. Use them wisely. People only change for themselves. You won't have to force it or break yourself apart trying to help someone if they aren't ready. Change comes from within. You can inspire, you can support, but you can't force someone to do the work if they aren't willing to do it for themselves. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is focus on your own growth and let your example speak for itself. If it can be fixed, why are you complaining? If it can't be fixed, why are you complaining? There's something so freeing about realizing this. If there's something you can do about a problem, then do it. Complaining doesn't help. And if there's nothing you can do, then why waste your energy on negative thoughts? Accept it, adapt, and move forward. Everyone wants to skip the struggle, not knowing that's where character is built. We often look for shortcuts, but the truth is that the struggle is what makes us who we are. It's in those moments of discomfort, in those times when we have to dig deep, that we discover our true strength. Don't be afraid of the struggle. Embrace it. Failure is the way life teaches us its rules, particularly the ones we don't want to learn. No one enjoys failing, but without failure, we wouldn't grow. Each setback is a lesson, an opportunity to learn what doesn't work, and to try something new. It's only through these experiences that we gain the insight needed to succeed. It never gets easy, but it gets easier. Whatever you're working on, whatever you're trying to overcome, the beginning is always the hardest. As you keep pushing, as you keep working, you build resilience, you get stronger, and eventually, the things that once seemed impossible become manageable. Remember, it's a journey, and progress isn't always linear. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. It's an old saying, but it still rings true. Planning and preparation are key components of success. Whether it's a presentation, a workout, or even just a day in your life, taking the time to prepare makes all the difference. Don't set yourself up for failure by neglecting this simple step. Some people are investments, and some people are bills. Know the difference. The people you surround yourself with either add to your life or drain from it. It's important to recognize which relationships are worth nurturing and which ones are holding you back. Energy is limited, so invest it wisely. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. It's hard to see when you're in the middle of it, but challenges often lead to unexpected growth. The pain you experience today can become the wisdom that guides you tomorrow. Trust that there's a lesson or a benefit in every struggle. You can choose the game you play, but not its rules. Life comes with its own set of rules, and sometimes they're not fair. But within those rules, you still have choices. You can choose how you react, how you adapt, and how you move forward. Focus on what you can control, and let go of the rest. Stop being so available to people who are only there for you when it's convenient for them. Value your time and your energy. If someone only shows up when it benefits them, it's time to reevaluate that relationship. You deserve to be surrounded by people who are there for you when it matters, not just when it's easy. You don't notice your progress in life because you are always raising the bar. It's easy to feel like you're not moving forward when, in reality, you're constantly pushing yourself to new levels. Take a moment to look back at where you started. Celebrate those small victories, because they add up to big changes. The human capacity for burden is like bamboo, far more flexible than you'd ever believe at first glance. We're capable of handling so much more than we think. When faced with hardship, we often surprise ourselves with our ability to bend without breaking. Trust in your own resilience. When you're driving through the darkness, you can only see as far as the headlights shine, but you can make the whole trip that way. You don't need to see the entire path ahead of you. Just focus on the next step, the next small action, and eventually, you'll reach your destination. It's okay to not have all the answers right now, just keep moving forward. There is a healthy amount of distrust to have in everyone. Nobody's intentions are truly clear, even after being stated. This isn't about being cynical, but about being cautious. Protect your energy, and don't take everything at face value. Trust, but verify. You aren't crazy, you're intelligent. The trouble is, you think you have time. We all do. We put things off, assuming we'll get to them eventually, but time waits for no one. Start now. Whatever it is you've been postponing, take action today, because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Let's keep this momentum rolling, and dive right into part 3. Not all storms come to disrupt your life, some come to clear your path. Sometimes the challenges that seem like obstacles are actually opportunities in disguise. They force us to let go of things that are holding us back, and they often bring us to a better place, a place we wouldn't have reached if everything had gone smoothly. You may not realize it when it happens, but a kick in the teeth might be the best thing in the world for you. As harsh as that sounds, setbacks have a way of giving us a reality check, forcing us to reassess our direction. Failure is often a much better teacher than success ever could be, because it forces us to grow. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The small, consistent actions we take every day have a far greater impact on our lives than the big gestures. If you want different results, start by changing your habits. It doesn't have to be a major overhaul, just one small change today can lead to a ripple effect over time. Adversity is not a detour, it is part of the path. We tend to think that obstacles mean we're on the wrong track, but often, they're just part of the journey. Life isn't about avoiding challenges, it's about learning how to overcome them, how to use them to grow stronger. Embrace the struggle, because it's what shapes you. If you fuel your journey on the opinions of others, you are going to run out of gas. Seeking validation from others is a recipe for exhaustion. You need to be your own cheerleader, your own source of motivation. Relying on others to lift you up will leave you feeling empty when they're not around. Trust in yourself, and stay focused on your path. Go forth on your path, as it exists only through your walking. The journey ahead might be uncertain, but you won't get anywhere by standing still. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. It's the act of moving forward, of trying, that creates your path. Don't worry about knowing every detail, just start walking. Show respect to people, even when they don't deserve it. Respect is a reflection of your character, not theirs. Treating others well, regardless of how they treat you, speaks volumes about who you are. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you, but it does mean choosing to be the bigger person. Your kindness and integrity are your power. If you want to feed a problem, keep thinking about it. If you want to solve a problem, take action. Problems grow bigger when we give them our energy and attention without taking steps to solve them. The best way to move forward is to take action, even if it's just a small step. Action reduces fear and builds momentum. The road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. Both paths require effort, commitment, and perseverance. The difference is in the choices we make along the way. It's often a matter of small adjustments, staying disciplined when it's easier to give up, choosing the harder path when it leads to growth. Sometimes you need your feelings hurt so you can wake up and focus on yourself. It's uncomfortable, but those moments of pain often lead to the biggest changes. When someone lets you down or makes you feel unimportant, take it as a sign to invest that energy back into yourself. It's a wake-up call to prioritize your own well-being. Most of what feels urgent is important for someone else, not for you. We live in a world of constant distractions, emails, messages, notifications, all demanding our immediate attention. But not all of it is truly important. Learn to distinguish between what's urgent for others and what's truly important for your growth and happiness. Focus on your priorities. As long as you're going to be thinking anyway, think big. If you're putting energy into your thoughts, why not aim high? Dream big, set ambitious goals, and believe in your ability to achieve them. Thinking small limits your potential, but thinking big opens up possibilities you might not have even considered. Only those who are willing to go too far can possibly find out how far one can go. It's the risk takers, the ones who push beyond their comfort zones, who discover their true potential. You'll never know what you're truly capable of if you play it safe all the time. Take calculated risks, challenge yourself, and see just how far you can go. Adversity has the effect of eliciting talents which, in prosperous circumstances, would have lain dormant. When life is easy, we often don't push ourselves. But when we face challenges, we tap into strengths we didn't know we had. Embrace adversity as a chance to discover what you're truly capable of. A decision is a sharp knife that cuts clean and straight. Indecision is a dull one that hacks and tears, leaving ragged edges behind it. Indecision is exhausting. It keeps you stuck, spinning your wheels. Making a decision, even if it's not perfect, allows you to move forward. Trust yourself, make the call, and keep going. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving them. The journey, the growth, the person you become along the way, that's what really matters. Goals are great, but the real value is in the lessons you learn and the resilience you build in the process. If you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. You are not stuck. You have the power to change direction, to carve out a new path for yourself. It won't be easy, and it might take time, but you are not obligated to stay on a path that no longer serves you. If you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. There's no such thing as the perfect time. There will always be reasons to wait, to put things off. But the truth is, you have to start before you feel ready. The confidence comes from doing, not waiting. You have to fight through some bad days to earn the best days of your life. Not every day will be easy, and that's okay. The tough days make the good days that much sweeter. Keep pushing, keep going, and know that better days are ahead. It's all part of the journey. The world is round, and the place which may seem like the end may also be the beginning. Just because something is ending doesn't mean it's over. Often, an ending is just the beginning of something new, something better. Trust in the cycle of life, and be open to new beginnings. With confidence, you have won before you have started. Believing in yourself is half the battle. When you approach something with confidence, you're already setting yourself up for success. Even if you don't have all the answers, believe in your ability to figure things out along the way. Don't be discouraged, it's often the last key in the bunch that opens the lock. Persistence is key. Sometimes it feels like you've tried everything, but it's that one last effort that finally brings success. Don't give up too soon. Keep trying, and trust that your efforts will pay off. If we all did the things we are capable of, we would literally astound ourselves. We often limit ourselves with doubt, with fear of failure, but the truth is we are capable of so much more than we realize. Push beyond those self-imposed limits, and see just how amazing you can be. Change is never painful, only resistance to change is painful. It's the holding on, the fear of the unknown, that causes us pain. Once we embrace change, we realize it's not as scary as we thought. It's often the beginning of something new, something better. Welcome back. Let's dive straight into part 4. The first step towards getting somewhere is deciding you're not going to stay where you are. It's easy to get comfortable, even if where you are isn't where you want to be. The hardest part of change is making that initial decision to move. Once you make that commitment, everything else starts to fall into place. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Sometimes you have to lose all you have to find out who you truly are. When everything is stripped away, when you're left with nothing but yourself, that's when you discover your true strength. It's in those moments of vulnerability that we realize what really matters and who we really are. Don't fear losing everything, sometimes, it's the only way to find yourself. You will have to face problems all your life, and you can decide whether they will be the same ones over and over. Growth requires facing new challenges, not repeating the same old patterns. If you find yourself dealing with the same problems repeatedly, it's time to take a different approach. Change your perspective, change your actions, and watch how your problems change too. Nothing is permanent in this wicked world, not even our troubles. Life is always changing, and that includes the tough times. When you're in the middle of a storm, it can feel like it will never end, but it will. Just as good times don't last forever, neither do the bad. Remember, everything is temporary, and this too shall pass. There is hope even when your brain tells you there isn't. The mind can be our greatest ally or our worst enemy. In times of struggle, our thoughts can convince us that there's no way out. But there is always hope, even if you can't see it in the moment. Trust that things can get better, and keep moving forward, one step at a time. Stay away from negative people, they have a problem for every solution. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, not those who bring you down. Negative people drain your energy and make it harder for you to see the possibilities in front of you. Protect your space, and be selective about who you let into your life. Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure. Sometimes, it's in the most unexpected places that we find the greatest rewards. When things fall apart, it can feel like everything is lost, but often, it's just making room for something new and better. Don't be afraid of the ruins, they might hold the key to something wonderful. Don't be scared because you don't have all the answers right away. Life is about learning as you go. You don't need to have it all figured out to start. Trust in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow along the way. The answers will come as you move forward, just take the first step. Don't be afraid of a shadow, it just means there's a light nearby. Shadows are part of life, but they wouldn't exist without the light. When you face challenges, remember that there's always a source of light somewhere. Focus on that light, and use it to guide you through the darkness. Just because you hate this chapter doesn't mean you'll hate the book. Life is made up of many different chapters, and not all of them are going to be enjoyable. But that doesn't mean the entire story is bad. Keep going, keep turning the pages, and trust that better chapters are ahead. No amount of regret can change the past, and no amount of worrying can change the future. Regret and worry are two of the most unproductive emotions. They keep us stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, without actually helping us move forward. Let go of what you can't change, and focus on what you can do right now to create a better future. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. Disappointments are a part of life, but they are temporary. Hope, on the other hand, is something we can hold on to no matter what. It's what keeps us moving forward, even when things seem bleak. Don't let temporary setbacks extinguish your hope. If you look for the light, you will often find it, but if you look for the dark, it is all you will ever see. What we focus on expands. If you focus on the negative, that's all you'll see. But if you make an effort to find the good, to look for the light, you'll start to see more of it. Choose to focus on the positive, even when it's hard. Start by doing what's necessary, then do what's possible, and suddenly you are doing the impossible. Big changes start with small actions. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Start with what you can do right now, and keep building from there. Before you know it, you'll be accomplishing things you once thought were impossible. Stand up to your obstacles and do something about them. You will find that they haven't half the strength you think they have. Often, the things we fear most are not as daunting as they seem once we face them. Action is the antidote to fear. Take that first step, and watch how your obstacles start to shrink. Don't let the bad days make you think you have a bad life. Everyone has bad days, but that doesn't mean your entire life is bad. It's easy to get caught up in negative emotions when things aren't going well, but remember that this is just a moment in time. Better days are ahead. The moment you want to quit is exactly when you should keep going. When you feel like giving up, it's often because you're on the verge of a breakthrough. Don't let temporary discomfort stop you from achieving your goals. Push through, and you'll be glad you did. People who avoid failure also avoid success. Failure is an inevitable part of success. If you're not willing to take risks and potentially fail, you'll never reach your full potential. Embrace failure as a learning opportunity, and use it to propel yourself forward. There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Don't let fear hold you back from pursuing your dreams. You have so much potential, and it's up to you to make the most of it. Playing small doesn't serve you or the world around you. If you want to increase your success rate, double your failure rate. The more you try, the more you learn, and the more you grow. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the journey to success. The more you put yourself out there, the more opportunities you create for success. Don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm. It's important to help others, but not at the expense of your own well-being. You can't pour from an empty cup. Take care of yourself first, so you have the energy and resources to help others. Take care of your body, it is the only place you have to live. Health is wealth, and without it, nothing else matters. Make your health a priority, and treat your body with the care and respect it deserves. It's the foundation for everything else in your life. When you try to please everybody, you almost always please nobody. It's impossible to make everyone happy, and trying to do so will only leave you feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. Focus on being true to yourself, and the right people will appreciate you for who you are. Never lower your standards just because someone can't meet them. Your standards are a reflection of your values and your self-worth. Don't compromise on what's important to you just to make someone else comfortable. The right people will rise to meet your standards. Let's keep going with part 5 of this journey together. We don't walk away to teach people a lesson, we walk away because we finally learned ours. Sometimes, leaving is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. It's not about punishing someone else, it's about recognizing what you deserve and choosing to prioritize your own well-being. Walking away is often the first step toward healing and growth. You cannot convince people to love you. No one will ever give you love just because you want them to. Real love moves freely in both directions, and it can't be forced. If someone isn't giving you the love you need, it's better to walk away and make space for the right person who will. Don't waste your time trying to convince someone to see your worth. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. We all have desires, but not all of them align with our long-term goals. It's easy to get caught up in short-term pleasures, but true success comes from staying focused on what really matters. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. If you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. Goals give you purpose, they give you direction. People and things come and go, but having a clear goal keeps you grounded and gives you something to strive for. It's what keeps you moving forward, even when things around you are uncertain. You can win a lot in life just by being the last one to give up. Persistence is often the deciding factor between those who succeed and those who don't. Many people give up right before they reach their breakthrough. If you can hold on a little longer, keep pushing when others quit, you'll find that success often comes when you least expect it. More important than the ability to pick the right one is the strength to walk away from the wrong one. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or a friendship, sometimes the hardest part is letting go. It's easy to stay where you're comfortable, even if it's not what's best for you. But real strength is knowing when it's time to move on. Forgiving people in silence and never speaking to them again is a form of self-care. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconciling. Sometimes, it means letting go of the anger and resentment for your own peace of mind, while still choosing to distance yourself from those who have hurt you. It's about protecting your energy and prioritizing your own well-being. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Your words and actions might fade from memory, but the emotions you evoke in others linger. Kindness, empathy, and understanding leave a lasting impact. Strive to make others feel valued and heard, and you'll create connections that last. Stop complaining about the results you didn't get from the work you didn't put in. It's easy to feel frustrated when things don't go our way, but before you complain, ask yourself if you truly gave it your all. Success requires effort, and if you're not willing to put in the work, you can't expect the results. Be honest with yourself, and put in the necessary effort. If you stopped seeing the world in terms of what you like and what you dislike, and saw things for what they truly are, you would find a great deal more peace in your life. We often let our preferences and biases cloud our judgment, which can lead to unnecessary stress and frustration. Practice seeing things objectively, without attaching emotions or judgments, and you'll find that life becomes much simpler. You may be the only person left who believes in you, but it's enough. When others doubt you, when they don't see your potential, it's crucial that you continue to believe in yourself. Your belief in your own abilities is what will carry you through the tough times. Hold on to that belief, even when it feels like no one else does. As you improve, you'll find yourself more disappointed with those around you. To avoid this, be hard on yourself but understanding of others. Self-improvement can sometimes lead to frustration when others don't share your drive or discipline. Remember, everyone is on their own journey. Focus on your growth, but be patient with those around you. Led by example, not by judgment. When you start seeing your worth, you'll find it harder to stay around people who don't. Recognizing your own value changes everything. You begin to realize that you deserve better, and you stop settling for less. The relationships that once seemed acceptable no longer feel right, and that's okay. It's a sign of growth and self-respect. Winners have lost more times than losers have even tried. Success is built on failure. Those who succeed are often the ones who have failed the most because they kept trying when others gave up. Don't be afraid to fail. Each failure is a step closer to success, and the only true failure is giving up. Problems are the price you pay for progress. Growth doesn't happen without challenges. Each problem you face is an opportunity to learn, to adapt, and to improve. Instead of seeing problems as setbacks, view them as the cost of moving forward. Embrace them, and use them to propel yourself toward your goals. Until you change your thinking, you will recycle your experiences. The way you think shapes your reality. If you keep thinking the same way, you'll keep experiencing the same outcomes. To create real change in your life, you need to change your mindset. Challenge your beliefs, question your assumptions, and be open to new ways of thinking. People don't get what they deserve, they get what they negotiate. Life isn't always fair, and waiting for what you deserve will often leave you disappointed. You have to advocate for yourself, to ask for what you want, and to negotiate for what you need. Don't be afraid to speak up and fight for your worth. Tomorrow is a direct result of what you choose to do today. Your future is created by your actions in the present moment. Each choice you make, each action you take, is shaping your tomorrow. If you want a different future, start by making different choices today. The power is in your hands. It's not who you think you are that holds you back, it's who you think you're not. Self-doubt is one of the biggest obstacles to success. We often focus on our limitations, on the things we think we can't do, rather than recognizing our potential. Shift your focus to what you can do, to the strengths you have, and watch how your confidence grows. You'll ruin your life trying to make everyone happy. It's impossible to please everyone, and trying to do so will only leave you feeling exhausted and unfulfilled. Focus on what makes you happy, on what aligns with your values and your goals. The right people will support you, and the wrong ones will fall away. Strength doesn't come from what you can do, it comes from overcoming the things you once thought you couldn't. True strength is built through facing challenges, through pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. It's in those moments of doubt, when you're not sure if you can do it, that real strength is forged. Embrace those moments, and trust in your ability to overcome. Problems cannot be solved with the same level of thinking that created them. To find solutions, you need to think differently. Step back, gain perspective, and approach the problem from a new angle. Sometimes, the answer lies in changing your mindset rather than the situation itself. The more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in battle. Preparation is key. The harder you work in practice, the better equipped you are to handle challenges when they arise. Put in the effort now, and you'll find that the obstacles you face later are much easier to overcome. Stop looking for happiness in the same place you lost it. If something isn't bringing you joy, let it go. Don't keep going back to what hurt you, hoping it will be different this time. Move forward, and find new sources of happiness, ones that truly fulfill you. Here we are at part 6, let's wrap this up strong. Waiting for change while not doing anything for it is like waiting for a train at a bus stop. It's pointless. You have to take action if you want something to change in your life. Wishing, hoping, and waiting will never move you forward. You need to be proactive, to take control, and to do the work necessary to create the changes you desire. If you find yourself repeatedly questioning whether or not something is right for you, the answer is usually no. Trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, if it leaves you feeling uneasy or unsure, it's a sign that it may not be the best path for you. Don't ignore those feelings, they're often pointing you in the right direction. Confidence isn't walking into a room thinking you are better than everyone else, it's walking and not having to compare yourself to anyone at all. True confidence comes from knowing who you are and being comfortable in your own skin. It's not about competing with others, it's about recognizing your own value and not needing validation from anyone else. If you wait for something, all that happens is that you get older. Time doesn't wait for anyone. If there's something you want, you need to go after it now. The longer you wait, the more opportunities pass you by. Take action today, because time is the one thing you can't get back. Buy something without looking at the price tag first. Work without looking at the clock. There's a freedom that comes when you stop being limited by money or time. It's about focusing on what you want and working for it without distractions or limitations. Put in the effort, invest in yourself, and trust that the rewards will follow. There's only one thing more precious than our time, and that's who we spend it on. Time is the most valuable resource we have, and how we choose to spend it says a lot about what matters to us. Make sure you're spending your time with people who uplift you, who inspire you, and who bring joy to your life. The right people make all the difference. We have 2 lives, and the second begins when we realize we only have one. There's a moment when it hits you, life is short, and you only get one chance to make it count. That realization is the beginning of real living. Don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Focus on what brings you happiness and fulfillment. If you're born poor, it's not your mistake. If you die poor, it's your mistake. Your circumstances at birth are out of your control, but how you choose to live your life is entirely up to you. You have the power to change your story, to create a better future for yourself. Don't let your past define you, you have the ability to create your own path. The past cannot be changed, forgotten, edited, or erased. It can only be accepted. What's done is done, and no amount of regret can change it. Instead of dwelling on what you can't change, focus on what you can do now. Learn from your mistakes, let go of the past, and use it to create a better future. Time is like a river, you cannot touch the same water twice because the flow that has passed will never pass again. Life is constantly moving forward, and you can't go back. Cherish each moment, make the most of every opportunity, and remember that once it's gone, it's gone. Live fully in the present, and appreciate the journey. Your value is not determined by someone else's inability to see your worth. Just because someone doesn't recognize your value doesn't mean it isn't there. Your worth is inherent, and it's not dependent on anyone else's perception of you. Believe in yourself, and don't let others' opinions define you. Don't make decisions based on fear, make them based on hope. Fear will keep you stuck, afraid to take risks, afraid to move forward. Hope, on the other hand, propels you towards your dreams. When faced with a decision, choose the path that fills you with hope and excitement, not the one that feels safest. Your life will get better when you realize it's better to be alone than to chase people who don't really care about you. It's better to stand alone in your truth than to surround yourself with people who don't value you. Learn to enjoy your own company, to find fulfillment within yourself, and you'll attract the right kind of people into your life. The only person with whom you have to compare yourself is you in the past. The only person better you should be is who you are now. Growth is a personal journey, and the only comparison that matters is the one with your past self. Are you improving? Are you learning? Are you becoming the best version of yourself? Focus on your progress, not on anyone else's. Life becomes more meaningful when you realize the simple fact that you will never get the same moment twice. Every moment is unique, and once it's gone forever. This realization can be both freeing and motivating. Make the most of each moment, live fully, and don't take anything for granted. It's possible to commit no mistakes and still lose. That is not a weakness, that is life. Sometimes, you can do everything right and still not get the outcome you hoped for. That doesn't mean you failed. Life is unpredictable, and all you can do is your best. Accept that some things are beyond your control, and don't let setbacks define you. No matter how much you've been told, there's always more to the story. Everyone has their own perspective, their own version of events. Don't be quick to judge or assume you know everything. Be open to different viewpoints, and remember that there's always more beneath the surface than meets the eye. You're going to make a lot of people mad doing what's right for you. And that's okay. Your life is yours to live, and you have to make choices that align with your values and your goals. Not everyone will understand, and not everyone will approve. But as long as you're true to yourself, that's all that matters. You can't cross the ocean until you lose sight of the shore. Growth requires leaving behind the familiar, stepping into the unknown. It's scary, but it's the only way to reach new horizons. Let go of what's comfortable, and trust that what's ahead is worth it. You'll never know how far you can go until you take that leap. You will never remember the days and nights you stayed home and did nothing. It's the moments of adventure, the times you took risks, the times you stepped out of your comfort zone that you'll remember. Life is meant to be lived, not just observed. Take chances, create memories, and live a life that you'll be proud to look back on. Someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. People will always have something to say, but their opinions are just that, opinions. They don't define you, and they don't determine your worth. Focus on your own beliefs, your own values, and don't let others dictate who you are or what you're capable of. Better to be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. Sometimes, it's better to stay quiet and listen rather than speak without understanding. Wisdom often comes from observation, from taking the time to truly understand before responding. Don't feel pressured to always have something to say. Sometimes, silence speaks volumes. A denied expectation hurts more than a denied hope, while a fulfilled hope makes us happier than a fulfilled expectation. Expectations can lead to disappointment, but hope is different. Hope allows for possibilities, for surprises. Keep your hopes high, but your expectations low, and you'll find more joy in the journey. You train people how to treat you, unconsciously or not. The way you allow others to treat you sets the standard for how they will continue to behave. Set boundaries, respect yourself, and others will follow suit. You deserve to be treated with kindness and respect. Don't accept anything less.